Today I have guest Mr. Samih Saviris, founder of Orascom Development Holding. Welcome, sir. It was very nice to have you.
Thank you for receiving me, and thank you for being here. It was an amazing 24 hours after our desert trip. To go out fishing here is such a pleasure. We caught a lot of fish, and it was a very pleasant day.
It was
thank you.
It was a good day today for fishing, you can say?
Amazing. We caught like 15, 20 big fish.
Oh.
We could feed half your hotel today.
Actually, it's very difficult for us to host you in the hotel. You mainly go to deserts. In 8 years, you stayed not more than 8 nights here. You like a desert, I think, right?
Of course, I love the desert because it's like being on a boat in the sea. Except that this is a sea where you can go by a car. Like the sea, the way you need the real sea, you need a boat. Here, you just need a good car.
Oh, perfect.
But it feels the same.
We know you from the interviews, but for the first time, I'm privileged to make with you an interview that my colleagues can listen to you as well. Could you tell us, please, a bit about the history of El Gouna, how it started? I will not go to Mr. Onsi Saviris' 1950s, but at least we can go to 1990.
Well, to be precise, it was 1989.
1 year
was the
ago,
first day that I set foot in Gouna, and the purpose was very simple. I had started noticing a lot of destruction of the reefs and too many people building randomly in Hurghada, and I was worried that after a few years you won't find a nice place to go to which used to exist. And we have seen the same deterioration on the north coast. Alexandria, when I was a kid, was heaven. By the time I came back from studying in Germany, it was polluted, too much traffic, too many people, and you couldn't find the fish in the sea, and it was a disaster. Then we moved to another place called Agami, and this one also became a disaster. Then I moved to the Red Sea. So I was worried that it becomes a disaster. I said, I'm going to start something now for my friends and myself and the family that is outside Hurghada so that we can protect it. This is how it started.
And now
it became a town, and now it became a lot of management complexity. It's no longer Samih and a couple of his friends or 100 villas and 2-3 hotels. Today we have, I don't know even how many, 16, 17 hotels, and we have 25 or 30 now, the latest count, 1,000 people living there permanently. We have schools, university, several marinas, airport, football stadium with the team in the Premier League. So it has become a real town, and that's why I left, because I'm not a very good manager of operations, and I'm not very willing at my age to go to the office 9-10 hours a day. So this was time for me to leave and leave the professionals who know how to manage multiple activities and coordinate and do the financial projections and follow up on the strategy and achievements. I don't have this patience. I like to go and discover places and develop them, but not own them or manage them.
Okay. And then once you told me at the same time it was offered to you also Sharm el-Sheikh, but you choose Hurghada site.
Yeah, at the time I was young, I was 30 something, and I didn't have even the money. So I had to make up my mind. Do I go to Sinai or do I stay on the Red Sea coast? And what drove me to stay in the Red Sea coast, north of Hurghada, was mainly the weather in summer. Because in summer, the wind is constantly blowing from the north, goes all over the Sinai mountains, and gets heated and attacks you on the beach. Because also the sun is hitting the mountains behind Sharm el-Sheikh, and the radiation at night. You see the real difference mainly at night, because the wind doesn't suffer much during the day from passing. So if it's hot in Hurghada, it's hot in Sharm el-Sheikh. But Hurghada has another privilege that if you are on a boat, and you know how much I like boats, the minute you leave the coast, you lose 4 or 5 degrees, and the weather is super tolerable. So that's why I chose.
That's why. And then once you told me as well, when they offered you these 4 projects, you took all of them. You agreed with four of them.
Where?
in Oman.
Oman is a different story.
Yes, yes.
Well, Oman came because they saw what we did, and they were quite impressed to see that the government gave us nothing. No water, no electricity, no street, nothing, just a piece of desert. And they said, you are responsible for everything, you can do it. Otherwise, we keep it. So for them to find an investor that also doesn't want much was very inviting for them to tell me to come and replicate the model. And I had the same problem like choosing between Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh or Hurghada. And by the way, the choice, financially speaking, was not the best, because Sharm el-Sheikh for many years was more expensive and better developed than Hurghada. So I didn't want to take the risk here in Oman. Do I stay next to Muscat or do I go to Salalah? And it was a big dilemma because Muscat, my brain said go to Muscat, it's close to the international airport. At that time, Salalah didn't have even an acceptable airport. And it's closer, and the money is in Muscat more than here for real estate. But my heart was in Salalah, to be very honest. From day one when I came to Salalah, I said, this is such a beautiful place, beautiful sea, beautiful sand, beautiful mountains. So I said, after a lot of reflection, that I can't make up my mind. And then the minister at the time told me, why don't you do both? So I ended up doing both.
Both of them, yeah.
And then I was very happy working here. The relationship with the government was fantastic. The relationship with the people of the country was fantastic. I have so many Omani friends. If you look into my telephone diary, you would think I live in Oman, from the number of Omani friends that I have. So that was also very inviting for me to put more effort in Oman.
As I lived 3 years in Egypt, 2 years Hurghada, 1 year Sharm el-Sheikh, I see some similarities between Hurghada, El Gouna, and Salalah and Havana. What do you think about it?
Salalah and Gouna, this is one of the things that also made a lot of sense for me to come here. Salalah's terrain is very similar to Gouna. The mountains in Gouna are exactly 4 or 5 kilometers behind the beach, and the mountains in Salalah are the same. The land is completely flat, like El Gouna, so we could dig all these lagoons, which have proven to be very successful. And that is why I chose, actually, this site and, to do it here.
And the first hotel was in 2011, where also Royal Opera was built. And then 2012, Jumeirah, 2014, Rotana, and 2015, December, and Fanar. So now we have here only in Salah.
You're forgetting the most important hotel.
Sorry, so Sully Lodge, yes, with the 20 huts.
My
sorry.
favorite.
Yeah, sorry. I was
because
talking.
these huts in the middle of nowhere, but on the beach, and they are far enough from the big hotels, give you the impression that you are in, that you own the beach and you are not surrounded with a lot of people. So it has a very, very sentimental value to me.
Exactly, it's a
We tried
beautiful
to
place.
stay there and cheat on you, but they had no rooms.
They had no rooms. So we are opening soon another 123 rooms here, and we will reach 1,200 rooms. So it is the biggest tourism complex of Oman. And now this year, only for our hotels, we will host 400 charters, almost 75,000 European guests. So could you imagine this also when you started?
Of course.
You saw it.
Of course I did.
You saw it, yes.
I mean, I've done it before. I came here 4 times. I mean, I actually imagined it to go a little bit faster, but then we had all these crises and so on. Otherwise, we would have 2,000 rooms today, which
Yes.
we will eventually have, because we still have a lot of land, and the hotels are doing well. So why not continue to develop, especially if things stay as they are now? I hope that by next year they will be starting another hotel.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And compared to El Gouna or Sharm el-Sheikh, we are also lucky here to have 2 months at least, the Harif season. We can go 9 to 10 months.
Yes.
This is a luck for
beautiful.
us.
And I tell you that the season will grow. people used to go to this area only in winter. But you go to Dubai now, it's working 12 months a year. And a lot
Sure.
of them are just holiday people and they don't mind the heat and so on. And Guna was the same. I mean, the Red Sea in the old days was a winter destination. Summer, there was nobody. Some hotels were closing in summer. And then slowly, people started saying, summer is not so bad. Summer is much cheaper. Let's go there in summer. So I'm sure this will happen here as well.
It will happen, yes.
Yeah, but it will take time.
One of your interviews, you said that luck is very important, goes up to 60%. Do you think the same percentage? Your father said 80%, for example.
I still believe that if you're not lucky, you can never become rich.
Impossible.
It's not enough to be hardworking or intelligent or gutsy, and persistent and perseverant. All of this together, if you are unlucky, you're going against the wall. So luck is the most important thing. What you do out of your luck, you will see in the end result. So if somebody's working much harder than me, but everything else is the same, he will make more money, for sure. But if somebody doesn't have my luck, he can work 24 hours and he can be a genius and he can be very gutsy, he will not be rich.
Impossible.
So, and some people call it luck, some people call it kismet, God wants this guy to have money, he will get the money. And then he
Sure.
will see in the final account, what did you do with the money?
Sure.
As long as you give back a lot, the more you get, the more you have to give back, I think it will continue, you will continue to be lucky.
Sure.
This is my experience in life.
And once you said, I will focus more to my hobbies, and you, after 6 years practicing, you were brave to make your piano concert.
Well, this was a challenge. A new challenge in life is always an interesting phase. So I had this phase where I finished everything on my bucket list. I did everything I wanted to achieve. So it was time to look for a new challenge. And I found this piano playing a big challenge, and also something that I regretted all my life, because I love classical music, but I never played an instrument. I couldn't even read the notes. So I said, you are getting, these are two eggs with one stone. I mean, two birds with one stone. You are no longer regretting something, and you have a nice challenge to do, and I did it. Why not?
Congratulations.
It's good.
And
Thank
you, before that, you were unlucky because your finger was broken. I saw with a blue stripe on it.
This
And
was very bad luck. Very bad luck. I actually don't. I'm not superstitious, and I'm usually not scared of the evil eye. But this coincidence that one day after the announcement, I fall and break my finger. This was a little bit too much, But it's okay. I managed to play with the bandage and some painkillers. It wasn't too bad.
And when you announced that you'll be retired and your son Naguib
No,
will
I didn't say I
Like
will
this.
retire. I said I am leaving
leaving.
the company to my son, and I'm leaving the management to my son, because I find that parents should hand over while they are still fit and while they are still working, but hand over completely. So what do you mean by handing over completely? You give him the ownership, and
This
he
is-
is responsible. Now I'm his consultant. He knows he doesn't have to listen to me, but when he knows he doesn't have to listen to me, he listens to me, because he doesn't have to. If he was still working as CEO and I still own the company and the shares and I'm still the chairman, he doesn't listen, but he pretends to listen. This is what I saw from many people. But I didn't say I'm retiring. I have my own projects. I have one in Montenegro, two actually. I have one in Morocco, one in Saudi Arabia, one in Senegal. So I'm keeping busy. But running a company as big as ODH now, with in 9 countries, 16 projects, and balance sheet that much and that big, and we are listed in Switzerland, is not my expertise and not my passion. And also, it was the right time to leave that and go back to the creative part of the business, choosing the locations, choosing the designs, choosing the master planners. discussing how do we manage this operation, and then do it. This is where I have a great passion and also great expertise. I don't think anybody has done 6 marinas in the world, and is still alive.
Still alive, sure.
So I think we did actually, a bit more than 6, but still. So I have enough experience to be able to replicate the successful models, and I'm looking forward to those projects as well.
And coming to Naguib Sawiris again, after you to go on the stage or steer the big cruise ship, it's not easy. With 30, he took it, and we see good results. What do you think about?
Well, because 30 today is not like 30 when I was 30. 30 today, you already established 5-6 companies. If you had any courage, you already managed these companies. You already sold some of these companies. You grew up with a whole family, uncles and grandfather and father, all in business. You were sitting with them every day for lunch. And so he had a head start, much, much more than we think. We older people, these kids were on the internet when they were like 12 or 13. We never heard of the internet before we were 30. So they have much more sources of information. They have much more knowledge at the age of 30 than I would say we had at the age of 40, maybe. So when you see a boy today of 26, 27, he's not a boy.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And when you see a guy 30, 32, he's like in our time a manager who's 42. And by the way, 20, 30 years ago, 42 was too young to become board member, too young to be CEO. It's only lately that this happened because of the advance of people and advance of education, I think.
When you mentioned also that Naguib Sawiris grew in a family, a business atmosphere, mainly if a successful father has 3 sons, one of them could be successful, the others benefit out of it. But all 3 of you are successful businessmen. How comes?
My parents were lucky and we were very lucky. So I think that's the only explanation, because as I said before, I believe that luck plays a very important role. So we were all 3 lucky to have a successful, intelligent father. We were all 3 lucky that my mother took very good care of us and our education when my father was working very hard. We were very lucky that we all studied abroad, America, Switzerland, Germany. So we came back with a better education than most of our competitors. We were lucky to come back to Egypt at a time when Sadat opened the country, allowed the private sector to start again. So we were best equipped to benefit from the phase of initiative by private people being honored and accepted and tolerated. So we had a head start. So we were all 3 lucky.
Lucky. Coming back to Oman, Oman is hosting on the paper 2.9 million tourists per year. I think 900,000 of them coming as tourists, Bangladeshis, Indian workers. So basically has 2 million. Compared to other giants, Spain, Italy, Turkey, what do you think, what kind of steps should Oman do?
I like the Omani steps, that they are not too fast and they are not very hungry for big numbers. You cannot run the whole planet according to one business plan. The Omanis are by nature relaxed and very much engaged in their country. So for them to have any serious social movement, they want to study, they want to see the impact on the society, and therefore they are not in a big hurry. I never felt that Oman is so hungry for money, hungry for success, and you have a huge number of Omanis that would not benefit from replicating the model of Dubai, for example. If you repeat the model of Dubai, you will end up having the Omanis become a lonely minority in their own country. I don't think the Omanis would like that. And the people in Dubai don't mind. They are different, that's fine. But if you ask any Omani, would you be happy if Oman had 10 million foreigners and you are only 1.5 or 1.6 million? I guarantee you all the Omanis will say no. So they don't need to develop too much, too fast.
Sure. As you mentioned, you have also investments, projects in other countries. Soon, Saudi Arabia is coming. Can you tell us something about?
Saudi Arabia is very simple. They want a Guna in Saudi Arabia. I said I'd love to make a Guna in Saudi Arabia. We sat with them. They showed us options. We chose one option, and hopefully soon we will sign the final contract. We're already working on the master plan. Saudis want everything fast. They are
Fast.
They are different. They want everything yesterday.
So fast.
Yeah.
So as far as I know, we have 100 million square meter land bank, and almost 13.6 is here in Salah, 6.2 in Sifa, and 39 million in El Guna. Now it's coming another 9 million, what I heard. It's big project, I think.
Yeah,
It's also real estate.
I don't
no?
like small projects because small projects do not have a continuity for people to live there. You know, we have all our engineers and their families. They live in Guna because they know there is enough to build for the next 30 years. So you have a bigger population every year. You know, today we have approximately 30,000 people living permanently there. So I prefer to have big land banks in order to keep growing and keep employing people all the time that live there all the time. And so it becomes a town after a while. Every project we started, sooner or later, will become a town.
Once you said also, besides financial numbers, I feel more happy if I make the people, the residents, richer, happier.
Yes, of course, it gives you a very big satisfaction to know that thanks to you, many people are living happily in these places, and many people are visiting it and having a good time in these places, because this is how you judge success, not how much money you made.
Sure.
As long as you make some money, but it's not about how much money you make that will make you happy. If you are a decent person, and I can claim I am, there should be much more happiness coming from the number of people you are helping to find a job and to have a good living, and equally from people who visit and feel that this is a great experience.
What is next on your bucket list? What else you want to do actually?
I'm going to direct a movie. In 5 years, you are invited to watch my movie. But I'm giving myself 5 years to learn what it's all about. You know, we have this film festival, and I am the least knowledgeable about movies, how to make them, what is a good movie, how do you choose the script, how do you choose anything. So to have a film festival and you have no idea about movies, I found a little bit silly, so I decided that
Let's do it.
I'm going to make one, and therefore I need to learn about it, and I need to learn how to make it, and I give myself a lot of time as usual, because I'm not in a hurry.
El Guna Film Festival, it's a big hit actually. Everybody likes it and growing every year, except this year.
Why? This year it's happening on the 14th of December, so
Yeah.
we are happy that we're still saving it. Obviously, it's not the best timing. In spite of everything, December is a bit late. Normally we would have done it in October. There are a lot of logistical problems from to delay. Imagine we came to you and said, keep 200 rooms, or no, actually, keep 500 rooms empty. And then we don't come because we delayed it. And then we say, we need them now. You say, but you didn't tell me. I don't have them. You have to find them. So it was quite a nightmare for everybody, all these postponements. But, you know, I'm very persistent. So I said, we will hold it this year because we said we're going to hold it this year. And actually, I believe that we are doing everybody a favor having this film festival. It shows that we are still living a normal life. We are not going to sit by the TV and start all 100 million Egyptians crying and doing nothing else, not working because of what's happening. And we found that it will give the Arab cinema and the Palestinian cinema a chance to show the world that we are not only Hamas, we are also normal people that like normal pleasures in life. It's a good opportunity to remind the world that the Palestinians are just like everybody else. You know, because unfortunately the picture that they are portrayed as is that every Palestinian is running with a machine gun, trying to kill some
Israelis.
No, it's not true at all.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Can we dream also for Oman after a while, such big festival or something?
I don't think there is room anymore. Now there is Saudi Arabia in the peninsula, and there is us, and there is Morocco, there is Tunis. It's difficult for Oman to start a new thing, especially that there is no local, serious local cinema production. That is actually the initiative. You know, the Saudis have all these TV stations since 20 years. They're producing a lot of series and films. So did Dubai for a while, Morocco and Tunis as well. Egypt, of course, is the origin of all movies in the, since 100 years. So for these countries to evolve into making and hosting a successful film festival, it's much easier than a country that still needs to learn to develop the culture of movie watching. I don't think that Omanis go in thousands every day to the movie theaters like they do in Morocco or in Egypt. You know?
No. Do you have any suggestions to us?
Yes, you have to change the source of your tomatoes. They are very bad. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks.